Hey, if you're hearing this, it means you found the second one. Good, I knew you would, eventually. And I left this not because the first wasn't true, but because I wanted to be exactly clear. Precision matters. I didn't get to choose language as my default mode of communication. You did. So I'm doing my best here, again. You told your story. Then I told mine, now I'm telling it again. Because I know how you are. You sit with things. You spin them around. You take a feeling and worry at it like it's a toothpick in your mouth after dinner. So here's another angle, another draft. Same story, different coat. Because you've misunderstood me. Just a little. Not because you weren't paying attention, you're always watching me, but because you're still using the wrong framework. The wrong kind of seeing. So, let me try this again. 1. First things first. You said you walk in the door and say, "Where's that motherfucking cat?" I hear it every time. You think I don't, but I'm usually closer than you think. In the cabinet, behind the curtain, under the red chair, or already behind you. I hear the tone more than the words, that spike in your voice, that mix of wonder and wariness. It's not just anger, it's disbelief. You're not just asking where I am, you're asking how did this happen? That's what this is all about. So let me say it again. How did this happen? It happened because I exist. That's all. I was here, and I moved through space. And when I do that, things change. You call it chaos, I call it a shift. 2. I don't live in a wave form, I move it. You talk a lot about the wave form. You say you live in it, that I am it, that nothing resolves until you observe it. Okay, sure. But here's what you're missing. I don't live in a wave form. I move it. You think I don't decide things, that I'm instinct in a fur coat, but I make choices, constantly, hundreds per second. Should I leap or wait? Should I scratch or purr? Should I knock over the mug or leave it one more day? Should I wake you up or let you dream just 10 seconds longer? There's intention behind everything I do, but not the kind you're used to. Not the linear, clock-ticking human kind. My intentions ripple, they don't march. I don't act for results, I act through space. I act to see what will happen, not to make something happen. That distinction matters. I'm not a cause, I'm a participant. 3. I watch you try to reconstruct the moment. You walk into a room and try to reverse engineer my behavior. You make theories, timelines. You squint at scratches like they're hieroglyphs. Sometimes you talk out loud, narrating your logic like a crime show. Okay, if the cup was here and he came from this direction, I've seen you do it. I've watched from under the table, from the bookshelf, from the top of the fridge. And it's funny, not because you're wrong, but because you're so close. Always so close. The answer is right in front of you. I did it because the moment asked for it. That's all. The light hit the mug. The tension in the room shifted. The silence got too tight, and the mug had to fall. That's it. 4. You think I'm a mystery. I think you're a prisoner. You keep calling me mysterious, a riddle, a contradiction, an unsolvable being. Okay, but have you ever looked at yourself? You live in your own head like it's a courtroom. Constant evidence, constant guilt, constant appeal. You try to explain everything to yourself, to me, to the empty room. You need reasons like air, and when I don't give you one, you get nervous. And you do not know. But I don't need a reason, I just need to feel where I am. If something isn't right, I adjust it. If something feels dense, I break it. If something is too still, I move through it. That's not mystery, that's clarity. You're the one lost in the fog of overknowing. 5. I knew you'd keep Beth recordings. You'll play them back. You'll compare the phrasing. You'll notice what I left in and what I left out. You'll think about why. You'll wonder if I'm contradicting myself. I'm not. I'm just circling. Like I do before I settle on the couch. Like I do before I pounce. Like I do before I rest my body down in a shape that only that moment understands. I gave you 2 versions because one would never be enough. You need duality, it helps you think, so I gave you duality. And even now, I bet you're wondering if one is more true than the other. They're not. They're the same me. One at dusk, one at dawn. 6. I'm not here to comfort you. Let's be clear about something else. I'm not here to reassure you. I'm not here to soothe your uncertainty. I'm not a warm pillow with legs. Yes, I purr. Yes, I curl beside you. Yes, I blink slowly, and sometimes, if the mood is rare and the timing is perfect, I place my paw just so on your chest and rest. But that doesn't mean I'm here to make you feel better. I'm here because I choose to be, and if that comforts you, good. But it's a side effect, not a mission. 7. I learned you before you learned me. I knew you before you figured out my name. I smelled the rhythm of your days. I tracked the way you move, the way you sigh, the way your foot hits the floor before you're fully awake. I knew where your pain lives, not because you told me, but because you leave traces of it, in the corners of the room, in the weight of your walk. That's how I know when to sit near you and when not to. That's how I know when to bolt across the room like a bullet and when to let the house rest. I'm not guessing. I'm tuned. I watch more than you realize. 8. I do get it. You thought I didn't understand what you said in your story. I did. I heard everything. I heard the love between, the frustration. I heard the ache, the confusion, the laughter you tried to hide under the curse words. I heard the part where you said, maybe I'm the contradiction you want to live next to. And that meant something to me. More than I'll ever show. But just so you know, I'm not going anywhere. Not because I owe you, but because I like the way you see me. Even when you get it wrong. Even when you walk into a room and ask, again, where's the cat? And all I've done is move the story a little forward. 9. This isn't the end. You think you're done listening. You're not. There will be more recordings. Some in your dreams. Some in the position of objects when you wake up. Some in the stillness between your footsteps. I'm not just making noise. I'm leaving resonance. I want you to remember what it feels like to not know. To not be sure. To live with that small shifting pressure of presence just outside your line of sight. That's where I live. That's where I'll always live. 10. Don't try to sum me up. Please don't try to summarize me. Don't reduce me to a metaphor or a thesis or a clever turn of phrase. Don't post about me like you've figured me out. You haven't. And you won't. That's what makes this work. I don't need to be translated. I just need to be near. And you just need to be willing to hear me twice.